Yo, Joe, morning coffee. Could be a bit of a serious thumbnail because I don't want to make too much jokes. Let's just have a chat, right? So I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but it's fucking annoying in life. I'm pretty sure you've experienced like people where you want to have a conversation with them and like you want to explain to them your perspective of things, and like rather than the other person listening to you, trying to like come up with like a common ground or an understanding or find a solution, is always like, no, nah, I don't want to hear it. It's like you try to talk to them, explain to them, they're like, they don't. There's no point. The reason to fucking argue with people, certain people because they won't listen or they're not willing to, right? Because like they're so ingrained in like defending their own perspective that the thought of them adjusting themselves or admitting that they're wrong or not necessarily that they're wrong, that like maybe they had a misunderstanding of something that's too much for them, that they just are not willing to listen because it's just pride basically or ego. They don't want to admit that they fucked up or they're wrong, misinformed or whatever, right? It could be too much for some people, so they just rather shut down the conversation, take the fuck off, and then spew bullshit and then move on, right? So for the most part, when it comes to like certain discussions, I don't really don't like. I just don't talk about it because I do have my own opinions of things, but I just know that from my experience, people are just too quick to defend themselves rather than like actually have a conversation, right? Now, when I started making YouTube videos for my channel, I did this like a long time ago. Then I stopped. I started focusing on my skill set and editing and try to network. And then I have the job that I do, and then pretty much recently started to like make more content for my video for my channel. And there are goals I do have that I tend to make with my channel, right? By making these videos. However, this is the first time where I've experienced that but me uploading content felt a bit uncomfortable considering the situation that was going on, right? It almost felt like I was being like, not disrespectful, it just didn't feel right, uploading at the moment, right? So I took like a week off. I just, been following the stories of what's been going on currently, After that week, I decided to go back to my schedule of uploading videos, usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's my personal schedule. And, then, filming, editing, and doing all that stuff on myself, right? Now, unfortunately, at the moment, tensions are pretty bad, and I think it's sad that pretty much a lot of people can't really just talk and have a conversation. 'Cause like I said, they're just too willing to defend their perspective of things, right? Whether you're a person that defend America in its current state so much that you're willing to like argue with a person and be like, hey, everything's fine, shut the fuck up, know your place, respect authority, do as you're told, so on and so forth, right? But there have been plenty of evidence recently or situation where like it kind of disproves everything they just said, right? They're not happy to like follow certain rules because it goes against their criteria or it makes an inconvenience, so they're willing to like, go to city halls, yelling at people, be demanding their rights and this and that because, they're not happy with the current situation of being at home. Then something major happens, then all of a sudden they're like, hey, just listen to police officers. It's not the police officer's fault that you pushed an old man, he falls on the concrete and he cracked his head. That was the concrete that cracked his head, not the police officer. It wasn't like the man that like died by being like, choked on his neck with a knee. He died because his heart, stopped. Yeah, it's like, that's pretty much the arguments I read, when people like are discussing this shit. And, it's terrible. So I try not to get involved with it, right? So that being said, I bring up a lot of topics on my channel about learning about being self-employed in business and, learning how to like, work on yourself to improve yourself, whatever it may be that you want to do, whether you want to be a filmmaker, work on your YouTube channel, or you just want to hear what I say, right? But I do bring a lot of my past about being working in construction, right? Me and my dad, we had a business. We worked there, pretty much through that business. I learned how to like socialize with people, make deals and all the good stuff, right? And I lived like that for over 20 years, just doing that, right? I started at a young age, working with my dad. So yeah, I've been doing that for a long time. And something I guess I don't bring up a lot because I kind of want to end this video with a positive note because, in reality, I'm glad things are happening as they are, that people want change. But at the same time, I do not believe that life in America is terrible. I'm glad things are being done. People are protesting. They asking for change. I don't agree with the writing, obviously, but, people do want that change. Both my parents, they were from Central America. They immigrated from Central America. If you guys want to if you are curious to understand why my parents immigrated, you can look up the CIA in Central America and see what happened during that time. It was during the Reagan administration, and yeah, they kind of fucked up that area, and it's kind of like the reason why a lot of people left and they came over here. So if you guys are interested in learning about that, the CIA in Central America, look it up, please. I'm not gonna get into that. But growing up, my parents being immigrants, my dad started working in a factory. He learned a skill. He decided to start his own company. Then I started helping him because I'm the oldest, the only male in the family. So of course, I'm fucking free labor. We rose to business and this and that. However, the thing that probably like I never brought up before is basically the majority of our customers were mainly white Americans, mainly female white Americans, right? Now the reason why that is bring that up is because like since like most immigrants, they come to this country and don't have much money or don't have much networks or whatever. So I grew up in a bad neighborhood, I mean, graffiti, prostitution, drugs, this and that. Whatever your opinions of that, I don't want to hear it, but I'm just saying that was my environment, right? However, in that environment, there was a lot of anger and hate, and always usually towards it, white Americans, be like, oh, white people this, white people that, right? So by me starting this business with my dad, pretty much like it changed my perspective that, wow, no, they're not. Like I said, the majority of our customers were white females and were white contractors or white business people. I worked for doctors, even police officers, judges, retired sports athletes, I even worked with like cat whisperers, and I worked with a lot of people, right? I mean, 20 years, I mean, shit, but the majority of them were mainly white Americans, right? In very high income levels, right? From my experience, it was great. A lot of them, anything, they were well traveled, well educated. They asked me where my parents were from, and they're like, "Oh, I actually visited there, and I like to go there every now and then." And then they tell me about where they went, and they're not bullshitting, right? They actually been there, or they have their pictures up of being like in Aztec ruins or temples and all this shit, or any other parts of the world, and or some of them even know how to speak Spanish. Now, has my life been great here in America? Like 100%? Fuck no. Has it been awesome? Yeah, of course. All my friends are mainly white. A lot of my experience were mainly around white friends growing up. And even that, like, I got given a hard time from, like, my Hispanic friends growing up with. They're like, oh, you're a white boy and this and that. And it's just stupid, right? But I guess the point I'm trying to get at is, like, basically learning to be able to change your perspective on things and being able to admit that you're wrong can be pretty hard, right? Because, like, if I would have stuck with that mentality like I did growing up, where it's like, oh, yeah, fuck Americans, fuck white people, fuck this, fuck that. It's all about brown pride and I don't know what. Basically, kind of like the saying, being angry at another person is like holding a hot coal in your own hand, thinking that it's gonna hurt the other person. I'm just be fucking over myself, right? I wouldn't be open or accepting or willing to receive the help of other people because I have so much pride and be like, no, I don't like that crowd and this and that, right? So I want to end the video there. Wherever side of the discussion you are, I think it is important to be able to stop and listen. If there's something that I do indirectly towards another person because, of my situation in life, I don't realize it, that I'm doing it. And like somebody tells me, hey, you know what, you're being a bit of a dick. And I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm a good guy. Fuck off. Obviously, I'm doing something to another person that may be affecting them, whether they realize it or not. If I don't listen to it and be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let's try to work something together so we can like move past this and improve our relationship with each other. And I think that's kind of like the topic and the discussion that needs to be taken. Obviously, there's people want to talk, but instead of talking, they're just arguing and bumping heads. And that's a damn shame because, like, just like I said, if it wasn't for the white Americans that gave us our business to the business that me and my dad had, things would not be as easy as they were growing up in America. When I was going through some, like, depression, like some low self-esteem situation, I was watching a lot of videos on YouTube about like motivation speech and how to become a better person. The majority of those videos were from black people, so that was some good motivation I got from like mainly black people on YouTube. They were talking about, hey, get some confidence, learn to be a better person, and so on and so forth. I got into spirituality, which is Zen, which is more of an Eastern Asian philosophy. That also helped me as well. So, I'm accepting all these influences from like different backgrounds and I guess has helped me out. And I think that's something that makes America great. And like, I think I love about growing up here in this country that I'm exposed to all this. Different religions, different perspectives, I love Asian food, I love black comedy, I like hip hop, I like rock, I like reggae, there's so much stuff to appreciate from other people from different backgrounds and different perspectives that I learned a lot about myself growing up in a bad neighborhood that I'd never realized, right? Because when you grew up in a bad environment, every day's the same to you. You don't realize it. You think it's normal. However, by me growing up with different friends from different backgrounds, again, mainly they were white, they were like, hey, you know what? Your neighbors are kind of fucked up. They're shit. It hurt. It sucked to hear at the moment, but I was willing to listen and then accept that, you know what? You're kind of right. And I made adjustments that I feel like was right to me, right? From receiving that info, I changed my perspective. And ending with that, I think it's important also to be like, hey, you know what? America current system is not fair for other people of color. We want to make changes. The people listening, hearing that message, it would be great if they would turn around and be like, hey, you know what? I can understand what you're trying to say. Let me help you out to make some adjustments so you can feel like, you know, we're all in this together, right? To avoid all the stupid arguments and fucking name calling and shit like that. Which is basically all I hear when it comes to like politics. People can't really talk to each other. It's always like, you fucking libertard, you Republic cunt, you fucking demon crap, you racist Republican. It's just like, they're always pointing fingers at each other and just calling each other names. It's childish and it's dumb. All right, that's all I got for this video. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but you know, unfortunately, making stuff like this, a lot of people are just too quick to be like, hey, shut the fuck up and just, you know, stick to your role of making tech videos or tutorials or fucking this and that. And it's like, you know, fuck you. You know, we're human. I'm human. I have my perspective. I want to talk to you. I'm not attacking you. Just, you know, let's hear each other out, work something out, and move on from there, right? That's all I have to say. Take care. And really, 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 please, peace. All right? Peace. Peace.